Hello, my name is Marcus, and welcome to my channel. Sonic Adventure 2, released back in 2001, it introduced us to Shadow the Hedgehog. My immediate reaction to him, they're like, dang, this guy is cool. Not exactly Sonic cool, but just that dark, edgy, bad attitude. This guy's got some trauma going on. He's just a cool character to interact with, to play with, and in some form or fashion, I think we all can relate to something of the trauma that is Shadow the Hedgehog. Now, he definitely peaked for the Dreamcast in 2001. He was obviously a very, very popular character. He ended up not making it through the game. He ended up dying. But he was so popular, the Sega ended up bringing him back. But it was different. It was almost like they just could not recapture the original magic that made Sonic Adventure 2 so special. Even with Sonic Heroes, even with Shadow the Hedgehog, his own game back on GameCube, Sonic the Hedgehog 06, Sonic Forces, it just couldn't really capture the magic that the original Sonic Adventure 2 gave us. Sonic Generation Shadow X changes that for sure. This is quintessentially the greatest Shadow the Hedgehog adventure that any of us has ever experienced now at this point. It took 23 years, 2001 to 2024. And I think now we definitely have one of the best Sonic the Hedgehog experiences that we have ever gotten. This game is perfect. It really is. It is challenging. It's fast paced. It does an amazing job of making you feel like a complete badass. It definitely makes you understand how Shadow was created to be the ultimate life form. From being able to actually utilize chaos control mid gameplay, that is something that I never really thought that would be possible until now. And the added chaos powers that you acquire throughout the game, the little stingray that you get on the water, the chaos wings, the chaos blast, actually being able to utilize that in battle. I'm so glad that they didn't go down the route of trying to give Shadow military weapons like pistols and guns. They actually are able to give him new and cool powers, actually utilizing his alien biology to take down his enemies. It's so freaking cool, man. If you're watching this video, if you clicked on this video, listen, you don't need me to tell you that this game is awesome. You already know. You're just getting my opinion of it. I just recently finished it. It is tough for me to, to find the time to finish video games nowadays with my current life predicament, having the multiple jobs that I have and running this channel. But I definitely found the time to basically give up sleep so that I could really play through and enjoy this experience. I haven't even really finished the Sonic Generation side of the experience yet. I played that back in 2011, I believe, when the original Sonic Generations came out. Played through a little bit of it, but I spent my $60 on this specifically to play through Shadow's story. In my opinion, the Shadow story of this experience is worth the price of admission alone, but just the fact that they added a reskinned Sonic Generations to it is just the icing on top of the cake. This is absolutely the year of Shadow. There's no doubt about that. From the anime shorts that we have gotten that explains this adventure, to all of the new action figures that we've gotten, to this game itself, and then the movie that is going to cap off the year. This is definitely showing us that Shadow is easily the second most popular Sonic the Hedgehog character in existence. Even goes as far as to start to rival Sonic himself's popularity. It's kind of crazy. He is such a cool character. He really is. He's definitely the Shadow to Sonic that is the Vegeta to the Goku. It's so freaking cool, man. Music is absolutely phenomenal. I think my personal favorite is Kingdom Valley, the rehash of that one from Sonic the Hedgehog 06. But, Radical Highway, Final Chase from Sonic Adventure 2 is a personal favorite as well. I even really enjoyed the Sonic Frontiers levels, music, and the Sonic Forces level. I think that's the coolest thing about these generation titles. It takes the Sonic experiences that a lot of people did not like, and it rehashes the levels and it just turns them into something spectacular. This game is definitely a representation of what Sonic Forces could, should, and would have been if the developers would have taken the necessary time to put forth the passion that they clearly put into this experience. It's actually kind of a shame, but I'm happy with the result of what we got here. So let's talk about the controls. Even going from Sonic Generations to Shadow, the difference in the crispness of the controls is expedited exponentially here. There's no not controlling Shadow here, no matter how fast you're moving. I feel like every death that I experienced in this title was personally my fault. I just didn't have the correct reflexes. It's definitely a skill issue. I think for this title specifically, there's no blaming the game for unexpected deaths. You just weren't fast enough, period. And let me tell you, on some of the first playthroughs on some of these levels, it takes some god level cat like reflexes to make it through without getting an unexpected death. It is what it is, but man, it just adds to the fun factor to want to get better and better and better, even near the end of the experience. I never found myself getting frustration with the difficulty level. I just wanted to get better and better and better. It's definitely not that. Man, I keep dying because game development is bad. I feel like I keep dying because I'm just like, shit, I'm just not fast enough. I just need to get better. The variety of the game does a fantastic job of expanding the Hedgehog engine with Shadow's specific powers to keep the game from feeling stale, from feeling like, man, it just feels like the same level I just played. Literally every time you acquire a new level, you get a new power to explore that level. Then you can even go back to the previous levels you just completed and utilize the same powers to find new pathways, find new traversals, and try to get through levels as fast as possible. It's definitely where the fun factor lies in for this experience. You get 5 core levels with 2 main acts. The first act is the gameplay that you're kind of seeing here, that Sonic Generation style gameplay from the back perspective. The act 2 is usually kind of a side level perspective. They kind of feel like the classic levels on Sonic Generation, but just you still have all of Shadow's core powers, and they just feel crisper. Like you're in more control, even like those automated sections where the game is kind of pushing you forward. You still feel like you're in somewhat control. It's just better, especially with Shadow's expanded powers. It's just a more fun gameplay. It really is. I can't believe after all these years, Sega has figured out a way to make Shadow's gameplay just fun. So freaking fun. That's the word of the day. In this stage of my life, as I'm getting older, I'm playing video games for just a sheer fun factor, more so than anything else. It's almost kind of sad because this is not the type of game that we're going to get a sequel to. I just hope that Sega realizes what they've achieved here and actually give us like an original story, an original title where it's not necessarily that we have to play as Sonic just by himself. You can definitely throw Shadow with this gameplay in the mix and maybe update Sonic's gameplay a little bit as well. You could really have the potential to have the perfect Sonic game with this combination of Shadow's gameplay and Sonic's more lighthearted style gameplay for sure. We really have something special here. We really do. Or else I wouldn't even be talking about it. If you notice too, I don't do a whole lot of gaming content on my channel. So you know that when I'm specifically talking about a video game, it's freaking special. The story does not disappoint either. I won't really go into major spoiler territory here, but his relationship with Maria is further explained. His relationship with Gerald Robotnik is further explained. We really get to see what causes Shadow to tick, why he's has the personality that he currently has. I mean, he essentially lost everything. It was cool to get to actually see him interact with the family that he grew up with and just being able to see the character development of those relationships, how they molded him to become the character that he is today, and how the loss of those characters caused him to go so deep into the dark side that he almost couldn't come back. I know for shits and giggles, we all love to pit Mario versus Sonic. Ultimately, I think I'm still a bigger Mario fan than anything else. But this is the one thing that Shadow and Sonic, or Sonic specifically, has always had over the Mario titles: story. I mean, it's just not even close. The gameplay is what brings us close to the Mario characters. I feel like the story is what connects us with the Sonic characters more so than anything else. I mean, it's not even close. In my opinion, it is genuinely tough to not care about these characters and how just you want to genuinely see them succeed at whatever goal they're trying to succeed at. Specifically Shadow. He's always upset. You could just give this guy just an ounce of happiness. I mean, that would be so cool. And I think they do a fantastic job of like letting him get super close, but he still just can't generate what he really wants the most. But they give him just enough to not allow him to go off into the deep end. Does that make sense? It's really a perfect balance. It really is. And I feel like Sega always does a really good job of storytelling with this character. Now, don't get me wrong, the alien stuff with the black arms and stuff, that gets a little wacky from time to time. But ultimately, I'm glad that they were able to explain, at least more so, Gerald's relationship with black arms and why he decided to take the genetic code to create Shadow. I mean, it's fully explained. He was just trying to save his granddaughter. That's all it is to it. Now, we've talked about gameplay, story, music, character development, abilities within the game to keep the variety fresh. Am I ready to call this game a masterpiece? I tell you what, man, when it comes to Sonic experiences, yeah, this is a 1000% a masterpiece. This is easily one of the best Sonic experiences I have experienced in the past 30 years, without a doubt. This is up there with Sonic 3 and Knuckles. This is up there with Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2. This is up there with the original Sonic Generations. This is up there with the speed section of Sonic Unleashed. This is up there with the original Sonic the Hedgehog 2. This is one of the best. It really is. Now, is it one of the best just for video games in general? Depends on how you look at it. I mean, do you love speed in your game? Do you love that over-challenged playing a level over and over again until you can figure out the best way to traverse the level the fastest way possible? This game is right up your alley. I think it's not even me trying to convince Sonic fans that whether or not they should play this title or not. They're already convinced. It's definitely trying to convince the casual video game fan if they should give the game a chance or not. And you absolutely should. This is not an easy game, and it might get a little bit confusing with the story if you've never played any of the Shadow experiences before. But I can guarantee you the fun factor is undoubtedly one of the best that you experience in a video game for all of 2024. I can guarantee you that, man. So if I had one go with this video, it was to convince you that you need to give this game at least a fair shot. Give it a try, man. Trust me. I promise you won't be disappointed. At least somewhat. You won't be, man. This is something special. It really is. And with that, we'll end it there, man. Okay? So if you enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed my take, you know what to do. Hit that like button. If you're a Sonic fan or a Shadow fan, or you're excited about this game, you're excited about the movie, you're excited about all the action figures, go ahead and hit that like button too, man. I'd really appreciate that. We tend to cover the most Sonic content that we possibly can. I've been a Sonic fan since I was a 5-year-old boy, and that is not going to change anytime soon. You can follow me at youtube.com/markjack79. I am also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, my friends, thank you for the support, and I will see y'all on the next one. I'll catch y'all later.